Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. All right, guys, we've made it. We made it almost to the finish line. We're talking about the remake, the reboot, whatever you want to call it, Friday the 13th. God, man, it seems like it was so long ago. This was the final movie that we got in the franchise back from 2009. Killian's with me, and of course, Miss Coriander. What's going on, guys?
Not too
Not
much, man.
much.
All right. Okay. Let's see who we have in the chat, and then we'll get going on a quick take and see what we got. Uh, Marty is in the chat. He's a fan of the
Yeah.
franchise. The remake was awesome. All right. Andre is in the chat. Vince Gilligan needs to write everything. Vince is amazing. I'm not going to lie. Shout out Breaking Bad. Denisha's in the chat. What's up, Denisha? How you doing?
Hello.
Hey,
Everyone. Dan's in the chat saying, "Hey guys, this didn't make much of an impression on me. I'm sad to say." All right. Okay. Peyton's in the chat. What's up, guys? Haters gonna hate, but saw this opening weekend and it's a fun flick, in my opinion. Yeah, I saw it opening weekend too, man. I mean, it was a new Friday the 13th, and I was hyped for it. It was a fun theater experience. Neil's in the chat. What's up, Neil? Saying, "Hey guys, I've seen this one once and I remembered liking it. Now I'm going to enjoy my tacos and listen to y'all talk." All right.
Nice.
All right. Let's see. Dan saying, "I've got COVID, Denisha, but feeling better." Oh, gosh. I hope you feel better, Dan.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Hope you feel better.
Mhm.
Gotta be taking care of yourself, man. Amstel's in the chat saying, "The Zone." What's up, man? What's up? Movies and Beyond saying, "What's up, everyone?" David's in the chat. What's going on, David? Steven's in the chat. Patrick's in the chat. Mikey's in the chat saying, "What up, Night Watch Zone? Love the reboot in the minority, but I think it works as a continuation of the earlier stories." All right. All right. Abby's in the chat saying, "I liked Freddy versus Jason, but the real remake with Jared Padalecki sucked." All right. Okay. Amstel saying, "I enjoy the 2009 version, not next level, but solid." All right. Castellar saying, "People loved the kills in the theater." Yeah. Yeah. I remember a lot of people just cheering and stuff, because we hadn't had a movie in a little while,
Yeah.
movies and beyond. I feel like this movie
Or
did a lot of.
Jason that, he moved a little bit different than what we're used to too. So that was nice.
You mean they corrected some
Jason.
things? Yeah.
Well, with how Derek played
Yeah.
Jason versus Kane,
Yeah.
it's a totally different style.
Yeah. Yeah. And we'll talk about that too. Let's see. I feel like this movie did a lot of great things, but it also did a few bad things. Overall, enjoyed the movie and a big Jason fan. Absolutely. Absolutely. Denisha taking care of housekeeping. If you guys aren't members, go be a member of the Night Watch Zone. Subscribe to the channel, right? There you go, Denisha. Thank you. We definitely appreciate that. Need more of that. Brandon's in the chat too. What's going on, Night Watch crew? What's going on?
Hey.
Hello.
Emma's in the chat saying, "I'm here. What's up? What's up?" Yeah, I know, Castellar. I felt bad about Danielle too. DMC, what's going on?
Hello.
What's going on? All right, guys, let's do a quick take on this thing. Kill, let's start with you. This is Friday the 13th from 2009. It's a reboot, remake, whatever you want to call it. Budget of $19 million, but it made $93 million in the box office. Directed by Marcus Nispel, who also did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. What did you think about this movie as a quick take?
Yeah. Well, my quick take is I liked it. It's a very grounded Jason where they explain certain things, and we'll get into that later. And sort of like what Coriander was saying about the way Derek made him move in this, he can haul some ass. He moves, and
Yeah.
I was here for it. I liked it.
All right. How about you, Coriander?
Yeah, I enjoyed this movie. There were parts that, at first the whole underground shit was like, what is this? How could he have done all this? But I kind of get where they were going with it.
Yeah.
Uh, but besides, little tidbits here and there, it was not bad.
Okay. Now, remember that point because I wanna get a little deeper into that, okay? But it'll be a few minutes before we get back to that. But remember that point, Coriander. Um, and Dan, of course, one of our patrons and great friend, saying machete that like button, everyone. That's right. Dan, keep track of how many people we got in here and how many likes we get, because I know sometimes people forget. Thanks so much, Dan. We appreciate that. Real quick before we get going with our intro, I enjoyed this movie. I went to go see it in the theater opening weekend. I liked it for what it was. This movie, with the fan base, it's kind of little divided. You know, there are a lot of people that don't like this movie whatsoever, and there's different reasons I've heard, and we'll talk about some of those reasons as well. But I think for what it was, what they were trying to do, and considering where we came from before this, and of course, if you guys have been following us weekly, almost weekly, with our episodes, you know, we've had some, as Kill would say, peaks and valleys, you know, in these last what, four entries, three or four entries. So I really did appreciate what they were able to do with this movie. But anyways, we'll talk more about that in a second. We're going to give people another minute to come into the chat if they choose to do so while we get finished getting set up. So for you guys in the chat, for you guys watching the replay, sit back, relax. We're going to Camp Crystal Lake with Derek Mears. You know what time it is. All right. You got to give them credit for that ending, though, man. They found a way to kind of tweak it to themselves. I like that. All right, Kill. Let me just check up on the chat too before we get going, and then let's start this thing off. Let's see. Bacon's in the chat too. What's up, man? How you doing? Talking about his ranking. All right.
Nice.
Am still saying Jason's Underground works for me. It's better than he just walks real fast.
Right?
Yeah. Hey, look. At least they were trying to think of something that actually made some sense. Movies and Beyond saying Derek Mears did a good job. He wasn't Kane, but that isn't necessarily a bad thing. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Abby saying, I love Jason. I like Michael better. But like so many of today's reboots, it tries to explain too much. Jason was a supernatural killer. He didn't need tripwire alarms and all of that. It's a good point.
That's right.
Good point. And Am still is speaking for the world, saying, I can't stand Trent.
Yep.
Yeah, Trent. Boy, Travis, he played a good part. When I talk to people about this movie, their main argument is they don't like the characters, but I always just tell them this is how the characters are supposed to play. Yeah. Yep. Let's not forget, this isn't an older Jason. He is comparable to Sackhead. He hasn't been killed 20 times yet. Yeah. Yeah. All right, Kill. And I'll come back to the chat in a second, but let's start this thing off, man. What are you thinking with the beginning? This is, you know how I talk about these types of things. One of the longest opening credit sequences of all time.
Yeah, it's like 25 minutes.
Maybe only second to, well, and they kind of, yeah. Anyways, tell me what you thought in the beginning, Kill.
Well, you know, and we talked about this off air. I truly feel that sometimes you get remakes and reboots that are just cash grabs, and then you get ones that they genuinely try to answer questions. They try to fix things that might not have been explained the best in the originals, and I think this one did a really good job. It starts off with the black and white scene of Mama Voorhees, you know, kind of, you know, getting vengeance for Jason, which, you know, it's a quick scene, it's in and out, and the one thing that they kind of rectify is you know, in the original movie, Jason supposedly has died, and you never see Jason.
Mm-hmm.
But in this, you actually see Jason, and he kind of witnesses his mom getting her head cut off, and then kind of goes to her limp body, and, you know, is mourning, and it looks like he even collects her head. So right there, they're already setting up, you know, the second movie, and one thing I really love about this movie is somehow they were able to really kind of put in the first, second, and third movie all in about the first 40 minutes of this because you go from that opening sequence, which is obviously from the first movie, with them adding Jason, then you got Sackboy, and then he finds the hockey mask because he always finds the hockey mask. So
shout out to Shelley.
yeah. So boom, you got like 3 Jason movies real quick. Boom, boom, boom. We're off into the races, and I loved it.
Yeah. How about you, Coriander? What do you think of the beginning?
I thought the beginning was good. Like Killian said, it was black and white, and like he saw his mother being killed, and so it was good.
Now here's my thing. I wanted to kind of piggyback on, because we talked about this a little bit. They obviously went a different route with this movie, because they actually showed Jason physically as a little boy seeing Pamela get beheaded. Whereas, as we know, and if you guys don't know, or if you haven't seen our episode on Friday, the original Friday the 13th, please check out that video. Shameless plug. But in Friday the 13th, Jason did not exist. And Victor Miller and Tom Savini have both said that. He was a figment of Alice's imagination at the end when he jumps out of the water. He was created in part 2, really. So this movie takes kind of like a more realistic type of approach, and we talked a little bit about the underground lair and all those types of things too. So Coriander, real quick before I jump in here, what do you think about that, them taking the realistic approach, and you actually physically see a young Jason see Pamela get beheaded, and obviously lived on his own in the woods all those years into adulthood?
I mean, what can I say about it? I mean, did it need to be there? I don't think so.
Okay.
But I guess it's their way of, I don't know, showing him as a kid maybe, and keeping that part, not a dream, but real,
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, definitely. I mean, hey, look, let's be real. We love the original. I mean, I love the original so much, but that was, that was a little bit of jumping the shark, because supposedly he really was dead. And I guess you could always think of him as supernatural. But of course, in part 2, he wasn't really shown as supernatural per se. I mean, in other words, they were kind of all over the place as far as story wise, real quick too, in the chat, I'm still saying I'm a sucker for cute brunettes. Yeah, Amanda Rigetti, the final girl in this one, she did a pretty good job, if that's what you're talking about. Hey, we got Jason, the super chat, $10 super chat. What's up, Jason? Nice. How you doing, man? Saying, I like this movie because it was grounded in reality. As far as horror movies go, it explains how Jason gets all his skills. Jason became scary again. Much love for the cartoon stream. Thanks a lot, man. We appreciate that. And you know what we got to do. Baby, can you dig your man?
Baby, can you dig your man? He's a righteous man. Don't let go.
Thanks a lot for that super chat, Jason. We really appreciate that so much. Thank you, man. And he was so excited about the cartoon stream. That makes me feel good, man. We had fun on that. Denisha saying, smash the like button, guys. There are 18 in the chat. Thank you so much. Marty saying, I love the 2009 movie. It brought the movies back to its roots. No outer space, Manhattan, or body hopping crap. That's great. It's true, man. Neil saying, has anyone mentioned that Coriander is looking particularly colorful today? Yes. Very cute. Very cute. Very cute. Oh, what's up? DMC with a super chat. Nice. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate that, man. You are all right, man. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Let's do this.
This. Like this. Swing your hips. Fire! Swing your hips.
We appreciate that. And Jason with a $2 chat. First 20 minutes of this movie was fire. It really was, man. I'm telling you, it was so damn good, man. It was like a movie within a movie, right?
Right? Yeah. And then it could have ended
It could
I'm
have.
just joking.
Well,
Right?
it could have. Well, okay,
Right?
let's start with you here. I mean, do
No.
you think that it went off of the cliff after that? Because, some people do say that.
No.
Okay.
No. I was just playing.
Okay. Well, Kill, what did you
Yeah.
think once we get out of that opening, that fantastic opening, we kind of go to what they say is, it's present day. I think it's like 7 weeks later or something like that. And we meet well, I'm not the cast that we will know, but the first cast, which was kind of interesting, you know what I mean? But we meet these guys, they're on a mission. What did you think of these guys? We also met our final girl. What were your thoughts at this point in the movie?
Well, you're meeting this initial group of people, and if this is your first time watching this, you're thinking, all right, is this the group of teenagers that is going to be in this movie? What's
That's right.
going on? And we've seen movies like this before, with kind of like a little bit of a bait and switch. Kind of reminds me of Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof.
Yeah.
Where you're following one set of female protagonists, and then it switches to another set. But I liked the initial group because they don't go too deep, and they're kind of stereotypes. But the second group is definitely stereotypes, and
that's true.
And we've gotten used to that in slashers, especially in the Friday the 13th movies. But the one thing that I thought was very interesting that you don't know is, did everyone die? Did anybody survive? And I thought that was different and very interesting because of one of the characters that's in this initial group. That's the catalyst for one of the characters that comes along later. Right. So I really enjoyed it, and Derek is off to the races with the kills here. Right? So it's just it's on and popping,
Right. Yeah. What about you, Coriander? What did you think of this group? I thought they were funny, man. Especially the weed guys. They had some pretty snappy dialogue. And again, this is still like the opening. It's like a movie within a movie within a movie.
Yeah, I mean, they were okay. I can't really say that I had a favorite. I mean, Jared, I'm a fan anyway because I like Supernatural. So, he made the movie, but all the rest of these people, it was just fun seeing them getting killed. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. And there he is, man. Derek, I think did a heck of a job as Jason. He had some great physicality. And,
He did.
again, no disrespect to Ken Kersinger. We talked about that last week. But I feel as though the way they had him portrayed Jason in Freddy versus Jason, he wasn't scary enough. He was just kind of lumbering around, and if he grabbed you, he could throw you into outer space. You know what I mean? And it didn't feel like it was. It didn't feel real enough. I know that's kind of a silly way to describe it, but when you see Derek, like you said, Kill, at the end of this part with this first group of people at Camp Crystal Lake, when he comes and starts slashing at people, you really can feel it. Like before that cold open that they had at the end when he's swinging the axe at Whitney, or the machete, I should say. I thought for sure she was gone because you could just see how he's just moving, and it was very, very cool to me, anyways. Marty saying Derek is an amazing Jason. I agree. Yes. I agree. Amsel saying I think it's cool. Jason is such an icon. These movies were my childhood. We're in that same boat. Same boat. Denisha saying, Nightwatch Zone, do you have a podcast? We actually do have our episodes available where you can get podcast episodes, whether it's Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Just look up the Nightwatch Zone. And you'll see our episodes in audio form. And look who's in the chat. My man Steven with a $5 super chat. What's up, man? He said, must see Ed Harris dance. You crazy, man. All right, man. Thanks so much for being here. We appreciate that. Thanks for stopping by. Here we go. Baby, can you dig your man? He's a righteous man.
Baby, can you dig your man? He's a righteous man. Don't let go. baby, can you?
Nah, I'm just joking. I was gonna do it again. Well, here's a slow one for you.
Somehow, in some way, I hope Ed Harris gets wind of this.
Yeah,
and it's
that'd be
just
cool.
like, huh? Really?
Thanks so much, Steven. We appreciate that. You're all right, man. Brandon saying nobody has said this, but the general air for this film was compared to that of Ghost Ship. Ooh, and Up, where people love the opening, but think the rest of the film after the opening scene is mid. Okay, yeah, but like I said, I've heard some people. That's why I was asking Coriander too. What she thought of that, because obviously, I think most people did really enjoy the opening. David saying the underground tunnels bothered me. I don't need or want realism in my slashers. Just took away from Jason's mystique, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, I can understand that. Casey's in the chat. What's up, man? Saying love the shirt, Coriander.
Thank you.
Let's see. And Blucka's in the chat saying this more serious take on Jason wasn't my most favorite takes on it. So, I think, and that might be an episode we'll have to do because I think it's so divided because some people really appreciated that and some people they didn't, so that's really, really interesting. Kill. So once we meet our regular cast of characters, what were you thinking of these guys? Obviously, you're a big fan of Supernatural and Jared. He's looking for Whitney, who we saw in that opening scene of people at Crystal Lake. And of course, he meets the other folks like our good buddy Trent there. What were you thinking how these characters were characterized?
Well, yeah. Of course, I'm just like Coriander. I'm a huge fan of Supernatural. So Jared is always my boy. More Jared. Holla at you, boy. But the rest of them are kind of trash, especially Trent.
Right.
But it's funny. It just like any of the Friday the 13th movies, you kind of just have the cast of kids there to be killed.
Yeah.
And some are more annoying than others, like Trent is the king of annoying. Yeah. But then you have other characters in there, like the one dude who kind of looks like Matthew McConaughey. I don't even know his name. He's the one that got killed on the boat. Yeah, there you go. Matthew, him and his girlfriend. So you got him and his girlfriend who are barely there. Then you have Trent and his girlfriend, and then you have the other young lady who wants to get with Trent, and then you got the poor two other guys that like you got the black guy, you got the Asian guy, and they can get no love at all.
But I gotta admit, man, I really thought that they were so funny, man. They had really good chemistry together, Lawrence and Chewie.
They were hilarious, but can they get some loving from the women, or it's just like, okay, you're here for comedy relief, and you're here because this movie was came out back in the day, and well, I'm not even gonna go there,
but I will say though that his death, you could almost tell, at least to me, they almost made it seem as though he was going to make it because he was actually hanging. Is that what you're talking about, Kel?
Oh, well, yeah.
But he actually was. Look, he did about as good as I've seen almost anyone other than Tina do with Jason, like empty-handed. You know what I mean? Like he was moving, like he said, he's quick, and it almost made you think he was gonna make it. Just my opinion. But anyways, but Coriander, what'd you think of these people? I know that they're there to be killed. That's true of any horror movie, but I'm just saying, did you have any that you I thought that Jenna was all right. I mean, obviously played by Danielle, and she was, to me, other than Chewie and Lawrence, she was a pretty good character because she actually had like a heart, and was trying to help Clay, with his sister, trying to find his sister.
I mean, she's a smart girl to leave a dickhead like Trent to go with, whatever the hell, what was his name?
Clay.
There you go, to hang out with Clay. So I don't blame her there.
Yeah.
And these other goons, they were okay. They had a couple of good scenes, I guess. Sure.
All right. Real quick too in the chat. Let me get to these guys. James in the chat saying Crystal Lake, definitely. We had a poll And I don't know if you guys saw this, but in the chat we had a poll with the scarier place to spend the weekend at. Is it Crystal Lake or is it Haddonfield? And we've got 38 votes, something like that. And Crystal Lake is way ahead at like 82%.
Nice.
So yeah, as it should be.
At least Haddonfield has a bar where you can say "Evil dies tonight."
Oh man,
Yeah.
what's up, Waffles?
Do a little karaoke.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess so. I guess so. My man Fate's in the chat saying, "Hey Knight, hey Coriander, hey Killian, popping
Hello.
in, showing some love, reminding Knight he's the meaning of my life." What's up, brother?
Aw.
Nice to see you. And by the way, congratulations to Fate. He hit 7K, and very proud of you, man. Good
Nice.
job. Keep on rocking and
Nice.
rolling. Everybody's moving and grooving.
Keep listening to Peter.
James saying, I totally agree. You put Derek Mears in Freddy vs. Jason, he would have done a better job than Ken. Yeah.
Definitely.
If they let him be physical like he was in this, because again, according to what I've heard, I mean, the studio made that decision on how they wanted to characterize Jason and have him be physically. They said they wanted to do different things than what Kane had done. Crazy, super crazy. I mean, I'm not saying that Kane was, always right in everything he did as Jason, but I thought he was a very good Jason. He just happened to be in some movies that weren't the greatest or well received. So, Eric's in the chat saying, can't stay, but want to say one of the best Jasons and almost all of the worst characters. Have a great night. Mother's Day, people. I'll catch the replay. All right.
Take it easy.
All right. Blucka saying, I always thought Serious Jason was just Michael Myers.
Oh no.
Faye saying, Jarrett, my favorite show of all time. He loves Supernatural. He really does.
Dean, right? I was
Yeah.
such a fan of Dean's.
Yeah. Abby saying Trent was an ass, right?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he
Yes.
was.
Yes.
Like every scene.
Yeah,
That
he
actor
was.
did his job.
Yeah, he did. He did. Denisha saying Night Watch Zone, I subscribe to the podcast. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Hopefully you'll enjoy the audio version of our episodes. And Abby, shoot the boot.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Well, you know what though? But again, I thought that those two had really good chemistry with each other, and they seemed to be less one-dimensional. What'd you think of that kill? I know we're kind of, it's kind of like we're ragging on these characters, but I mean,
No.
was there any hope? Because like I said, I thought Lawrence and Chewie had some really good funny moments.
Yeah, I mean, they were the stoners, I guess, but
Yeah.
they had a lot of great chemistry between them.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
thought so.
and yeah, and they were funny because everybody else was either, they died really quick, like that one couple, or they were like, just punk asses like Trent, or they were just the goody girl, the sweet one, the perfect one, the nice one with a heart. So it's just like at least these two guys had a little flavor to them that made them funny, made them a little wacky, and so forth, and fun to watch.
And don't forget your boy who trying to sell everyone weed. Don't mess with Jason's weed. Jason's
Right.
like, you're in trouble now, buddy. And he's got Kill. What do you think of this version of Sackboy? Because I know you're not a big fan of Sackboy, but we've talked about this before in the past.
Look, if you see that coming at you or in the mirror behind you, that's scary as hell.
Right?
Like that, and that sack, it's not like a loose potato sack or like the town that dreaded sundown sack. This one is like more like a sack wrap around his head.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I agree. What do you think of the sackhead version of Jason, Coriander?
I don't mind either, honestly.
Yeah.
I think they both looked good.
Yeah. It almost reminds me of Hush Kill. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
From Batman. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, he has to find that mask. And again, shout out to Shelley. And man, he puts it on. Now, I want to say this, because we're kind of all over the place, unfortunately, but that's okay. That's how we do it. But I think that one thing I appreciated about this movie is that they really kind of put Jason in these good angles and camera shots. You know what I'm saying? Whereas in Freddy versus Jason, I mean, they did some okay camera work, but of course, Jason to me wasn't physically what I wanted him to be. They had Robert
Yeah.
looking great in Freddy versus
Mhm.
Jason, but I think in this movie they really realized that Derek had some good physicality and able to act underneath of the makeup and so forth. Even in that scene we played in the intro, where it's all dark. He gets into the house, and Bree, he finds her, or she opens up that curtain, and he's right behind her, and he's choking her, and they have that close up to his eye. Right now,
Mhm.
again, I'm getting a little geeky here, but you guys let me know what you think. Tell me if it's crazy or not. But to me, it looked better than how in Freddy versus Jason they were trying to get these close-ups of like an emotional Jason, his eyes, and they talked about how Ken, part of the reason they really liked him because he was a stuntman and he had very kind eyes and so forth. I even think with Derek, even with the look in his eyes, it just looked menacing. It really kind of put some fear back into the character, which I've seen a few people mention in the comments. But he
Mhm.
gets the mask and then it's on. Clay is still looking for his sister. And that's basically, when he comes back. Well, he comes back to where they're at the cabin. And Jenna, played by Danielle Panabaker, she was basically like, hey, do you need help? Yada, 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 because Trent's being a dick. And they just kind of go off. Kill, at this point, I thought it was kind of cool because you've got the cast split up in a way. You know what I'm saying? You got these two searching for Whitney. You've got Nolan out on the boat with his girl. And then you got the other guys at the cabin just chilling out. So you've got three places. And while all this is happening, Whitney is a prisoner. We find out that she's a prisoner in Jason's lair. And we kind of see his lair and all those types of things. What did you think about how the story was split up like that? And also, what did you think of Jason's lair?
I enjoyed the different locales and like the group kind of, being spread out because
Yeah.
we're so used to, the teens being at Camp Crystal Lake.
Right.
Well, this is like, Lake House Crystal
Yeah.
Lake. So
Good
you got to
point.
spread them out a little bit.
Yeah.
And plus, it's during the daytime, you know.
Yes. It was like
So
a different
I
vibe. Look at that. It gives you a sense of the land.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I liked it, and as far as people saying I don't need this realism in your Jason, I get it. Some people
Yeah.
said the same thing about the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, like,
That's
oh,
true.
it seems too realistic, But for me, I don't mind it because let's keep in mind this Jason has not died, 30 times, or someone has said it like 20 times yet. He's still very young at the whole slasher game,
Mhm.
So it's kind of like an origin story too. And
Right.
if he's been in the woods since he was a little kid
Mhm.
watching his mom die, yeah,
Mhm.
he's gonna have some tunnels. Yeah, he's gonna have some underground stuff that may have already been there, or
Mhm.
he might have, created those tunnels for his lair. But
Mhm.
to me, it all makes sense because
Yeah.
this version of Jason is also a hunter. He's a tracker.
Right.
He has
He's
traps. I
territorial.
mean,
Hmm.
yeah, this is his land. This is,
Right.
you step foot on this,
He'll
it's a
defend
wrap.
it. Mhm.
Yeah. And so
Boom.
hey,
Hey, we
so
got
oh, go ahead.
yeah, hold on. We got a $20
Nice.
super chat for
Wow.
Jason. Thanks so much, man. Thanks so much. Saying, serious question. Do you think Paul from Friday the 13th Part 2 is related to Ed Harris? Maybe they could make a movie where Ed wants revenge for his brother's death. Ed kills Jason and does his dance to celebrate.
Oh man.
They do kind of look alike, though. You remember from yeah. That's
Yeah.
too funny, man. All right, man. Here we go.
Baby, can you dig your man? He's a righteous man. Don't let go.
Thanks so much, Jason. We appreciate that. I'm sorry, but what were you saying, Kel?
No, I guess for me, I didn't mind the realism because this is a different take. And
Yeah.
if they just did the same exact thing we would be complaining that, oh, it's the same movie,
Right.
you know. So I didn't mind the lair, the underground tunnels, or the bells that made little sounds, so he knew what was going on above ground.
That's
I
right.
thought they really explained, hey, this is how he can get around so fast. Not
That's right.
only does he know these woods like the back of his hand, he
Mhm.
has these, quick points where he can just get to different places. So,
Yep.
and also he needed a place to stash, the young lady who reminded him of his mom.
Yeah,
You
that's
got
the
to
other
have some place to keep prisoners.
Yeah, that's the other thing too that we've got to mention is that, she reminded him of Pamela, and even in the beginning before he took her prisoner, her boyfriend was saying, you look like this lady that was in a locket in Jason's little cabin. That's the other thing too to remember, since he was a little kid, he just kind of did what he had to do, and even the original filmmakers, like Tom Savini and those guys, when they tried to justify how Jason appeared in part two, they said, hey, well, maybe I think it was Warrington Gillette specifically who said, hey, he just found a way to survive, eating off the land, doing what he had to do, and just grew up into this psychotic monster. Fate saying, I just think it's hilarious that the whole movie Jason was killing people, protecting his crop. Don't touch Jason's pot.
Let alone piss on it. Jesus.
Right. Exactly. Castler is saying the comedic duo were stereotypes. Friday the 13th needs to evolve with better characters. I agree. Yeah, I agree. And that's what I would love to see in a sequel, or the next movie. Yep. Brandon saying both the Winchester brothers were in solid remakes. Padalecki in this, Jensen in My Bloody Valentine. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good year that year.
Absolutely. Yeah, and they both came out the same year.
They did.
Jason even had lights that worked. That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Ghostface. So you're not a fan of the realistic take and the traps and the
No,
trip
I
wires.
mean, come on. Jason's dead. He died. I don't care how many times you die. You're dead. You don't need that shit. No. I'm sorry. No.
Yep. Yeah, but he didn't die until 4. Die.
He drowned supposedly as a kid. You're dead. Come
Well,
on. How many times can you die? You die once and that's it. You can be brought back many times.
That should be a video.
mean,
that
come
should
on.
be a video we talk about at some point, because that's kind of an interesting thing that a lot of fans talk about. Ghostface saying hello. What's going on?
Hey.
Abby saying, I do not think I ever seen a Friday where Jason took a hostage except this one. That's a major character break. Yeah,
Exactly.
Good point.
He just needs to kill, man.
We got another $20
wow.
super chat from Ghostface
Nice.
Fanatic. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Saying Jason is definitely the strongest horror villain out of everyone. There's no doubt about that. Especially the way they portray Freddy versus Jason. And by the way, guys, we really appreciate the support. For you guys that had seen our live stream the other day that I had, we're going to be going to Monster Mania, and the super chats will definitely help, because what's the travel time, Corinne? Is it going to be like 12 hours? It's going to be like a 12-hour.
It's going to be a long drive. Yeah.
It is, man. But we plan to have some really cool stuff, and even do a live stream from down there in Jersey. So it should be very, very cool. So thank you so much, Ghostface. We really appreciate that. And here we go. This one's for you.
Baby, can you dig your man? He's a righteous man.
Don't let go.
Thank you so much, Ghostface. We appreciate that, because he was saying I really enjoyed the remake. Very, very cool. Abby saying, forgive me, but I think it was Killian who said, let's remember this is like Sackhead Jason. Okay, Jason died when he was 9. Where did he learn to dig tunnels, lay tripwires? Did he go to the library?
Well, in this remake, he didn't die, because you see him as a kid watching his mom get beheaded.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is, to me.
But did they tell you? Did they lead on that he was a dead or alive? I don't think so. So you could almost take it either way.
Well, I guess you could, but if I was to go one way or the other, if you're at the fork in the road and one way is that he's alive or he's dead, I'd go with they're saying that he's alive, because even in the movie, the way they characterized him, even the way they quote unquote killed him, it was very it felt like a more grounded, realistic type of take. You know what I mean?
But why would his mother go on a rampage if Jason's still alive?
Well, that was one thing that they even talked about in the original,
She was just fucking crazy and
well,
just
no,
wanted to kill him.
well, they talked about that in the original movies too, is that, it could have been a thing where she thought he drowned, but he didn't. And she just, obviously, she's not with it anyways. And then
No,
she
see,
went
that
on a
doesn't make
rampage.
sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that doesn't
yeah.
work.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Right?
Lamar said, "Happy Sunday, Mother's Day. Love y'all." What's going on, Lamar? Thanks so much. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. Jason with a $5 chat saying, "When the tow truck showed up, I totally got TCM vibes. Fate, congratulations. You will double that number in no time." Dennis Edwards for Fate. I wish I could. We don't have any Dennis, but we will have him again. But thank you so much, Jason. We appreciate that. But Kill, let's kind of move on here too, because the group is split up. What did you think of the boat kill? Because that was one of the first ones that we saw, where you saw him basically full blown. He's got the mask on. He's ready to do what he has to do. What did you think of that scene?
Oh, I mean, I thought it was awesome because once again, it's broad daylight, and he already took care of her boyfriend who was driving the boat. And he's just like, "Hey, you're out here in my forest. You're in my woods. You're close to my weed crops.
Look at that! Look at it! Look, he
is
already
scary.
looks more intimidating than he did in Freddy versus Jason.
No, that's almost like a masterpiece painting. Look at the colors. Look at how he blends. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to mess with that guy?
Of course
you don't
you
want to
don't.
mess with that guy.
You don't. But while all this is happening, one thing I thought that was cool too is that Clay, he's trying to figure things out. They're searching around. They had that scene where they saw Jason carrying the body and everything. I thought that was a pretty good scene, Coriander. What did you think of that scene? That was a lot of tension in that one.
Yeah, right, because you don't know. Well, you kind of have an idea of what the hell he's carrying, but until he actually drops it, then you realize how much, deep shit that you're in. Because
right. Yes. Absolutely. I mean, I thought that it had a lot of tension. It was shot very well. And again, everything, to me anyway, everything is looking great. And while that's happening, you got your boys at the house, they're chilling out. And look, this is what's interesting, because as the viewer, we know what's going on. We know Jason's out there. They're sitting here chilling out while Bree is dancing and prancing and stuff. And you just know that bad stuff is going to happen. When Chewie goes to the the tool shed or whatever, I thought, first of all, that was a cool scene. He had some funny moments. I really did like Aaron Yu in this role. But that scene where Jason is right behind him and the light kind of flickers, I thought that was a really cool scene. What'd you think of that, Kill?
Oh, I mean, that's nightmare fuel. I mean, the way that they use the light and the shadow and flickering light. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Like, seriously. And you knew bad things were going to happen. I mean, he goes to the tool shed to try to fix the cherry broke because Trent is a douchebag.
Right.
And
it was
you
his
just
dad's
know.
favorite. No.
Yeah, but look, I mean, stuff happens. Get over it.
Right.
And yeah, you just know it's not going to be a good day for him.
And then of course, Lawrence, bless his heart, man. He's like, I gotta save my boy.
Right?
What'd you think of that scene, Coriander? Because like I was saying earlier with Kill, you almost thought he was gonna get away because he was fighting Jason off. He was moving quick, jumping over tables, doing parkour.
You had that glimmer of hope for a second.
Yes.
But
Jason is a champion axe thrower.
Yeah.
He
is.
He can do anything.
He can, man. Look, they did a good job with my boy. They really, really did. Let me just catch up into the chat a little bit. Let's see. Movies and Beyond, Sackhead had a house. Yes, that's right. In part 2, he did. Lamar saying, I love this Friday. Great comeback. Yes. And Casey saying, 12 hours of goodness. Have fun. Yeah. Dan saying, you can live stream from my backyard.
Nice.
Right. Movies and beyond. Now, this is a good point, and this is where I'm coming from. I feel like if he was dead, he wouldn't grow up if he was a kid when he died, and that's my point. I mean, you could say, well, he's supernatural, and he just
He can be
and,
whatever he wants.
but
He can
look, man,
appear in any form.
he was
You're dead.
alive in this movie. Kill.
No,
Was he alive? Was he
no.
Kill? What do you think? Was he alive
He
or
was
dead?
No.
look. You saw how he was hauling ass. You saw how he was running. He was alive. Come on, he was
No.
alive. He was alive. He's
No,
alive.
he wasn't.
George is in the chat saying forgettable remake, which is why there was no sequel. Probably the last Friday movie. Well, no, wait. Well,
That's too bad.
well, I think there are a lot of people that didn't like it, but this movie made money. This movie did very well in the theaters because the budget was only like 18 million, but it made $94 million. So it made money, but it was really the legal issues between Victor Miller and Sean Cunningham that really put a halt to the Friday movies, and they're still dealing with it. They're closer to the end, but we don't even know when we're going to get another one, man. But yeah, I mean, I didn't mind it. I really didn't. What's up? Bearded Entertainment, Eric himself saying, I really like that the main relationship of the movie was brother and sister versus a romantic relationship. That is a great point, Eric. And I actually like that too, because in this movie, although you have technically the final girl, you have her brother, Jared, who played Clay, who was kind of front and center. And then you had a possible romantic interest, or at least I would say his, friend or whatever, played by Danielle. And I thought that was a cool look. Again, guys, this is the 12th movie in the franchise. You got to do some different things, but still kind of stay true to what the movies are. And I think they did a pretty good job of balancing that.
Dead in all those. Come on.
No comment. Hey, thanks so much, Eric. We appreciate that super chat, brother. And Eric will actually be down at Monster Mania, so we'll get a chance to meet and hang out, man. But hey, for you, man, and we thank you so much. Seriously, Eric, you didn't have to do that. But hey, can you dig your man? Here we go.
Baby, can you dig your man? He's a righteous man.
Don't let go.
It never gets old, man.
It does not. I'm waiting for it to be like, oh, this again. But I always have a smile on my face after it ends.
Blucka is getting a kick out of it. But look, let's get to pretty much the final act here. The bottom line is that everyone's getting aced out, but when they have that finale where Jason actually gets into the cabin or he's outside the cabin, of course, part of the scene that we played on our intro, I thought there was some really cool stuff, Kill. What did you think about these scenes and then taking us to, what happened with Trent and so forth?
Oh yeah, I mean he gets in the house and he's like a ninja. He's just taking people out left and right. And then Trent gets a gun and he just starts like shooting at shadows and stuff that's not even there. And and once again also he's kind of like a predator just playing with his food. Because Jason could have just went in there. We've seen Jason just jump through glass. We've seen him just walk through wooden doors and they splinter. But this one, he is a hunter. He's hanging out. Literally, when I say hanging, he's hanging out on the outside of like windows of the house, baiting, using human bait. And he's just taking his time. He's acing out the sheriff. And he's just like having the best night ever. He's just like, look, I just get to hunt and kill and get these guys off my weed crops and out of my forest. So yeah, it was scary. This Jason is so much more smarter than the Jason from Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh my god, it's night and
no contest.
It's kindergarten versus college, easily. Easily.
Yeah.
Coriander, I know you were happy when Trent got his. What'd you think of not only how the scene went, but how it looked as far as the effects?
Yeah, I mean, that was good, and can I just say too that there's a scene where I think right after he kills the dude who got the axe to the back, he went from there on top of the roof like that.
Yeah.
So he had no tunnels to do that or ropes to swing him up there. I'm just saying he's not alive.
Come on, man. Of course
knew-
he did.
I
You gotta
knew she was
stop.
going back to that. I never let
Good
go.
Lord.
Don't let go.
He's
Right?
alive. Good God and
No, he's
gravy.
not.
All right.
Never
real quick
forget,
too-
Corey.
real quick too in the you're too funny. Real quick in the chat. Let's see. Lamar saying it's not a remake. Remember that, guys. It's quoted. Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Got to catch up with you guys in the chat. Ghostface with another super chat.
Oh wow.
I really honestly like the look of Jason in the remake a little more than the Freddy versus Jason version personally. Yes.
Totally.
Absolutely. There is
He was
no question
horrible
about that.
in that Freddy versus Jason.
Terrible. Yeah, that was one of my least favorite looks.
Yep. And portrayals of Jason.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and no disrespect to Ken, but they just I didn't like it, man.
Yeah.
But Ghostface, thank you so much for that super chat. We really appreciate it, man. We really, really do.
Baby, can you dig your man? He's a righteous man.
Castler saying the darkness is used to great effect. Absolutely. I'm still saying, please kill Trent. Eric with another super chat. Also, Jason ran. Fucking terrifying seeing that Hulk of a slasher speeding towards you.
Yeah.
That opening was crazy, wasn't it? It was crazy.
Man, look. Not only did he run at the female protagonist, he flipped the machete around, getting prepared to just get at it, all in the same sprint. Like, wow.
Right. That is
supernatural powers. Yes.
Yeah. Corey Hinder wants zombie Jason. Only if Tommy Jarvis is going to resurrect him, though. What's up? I like Scaries in the chat. Saying the real question is Tyler Myers or Derek Mears Jason? Good question.
They're both tall.
Yeah.
I'm going with Derek.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with Derek. And Derek's.
I might have to go with Tyler in the first Halloween Rob Zombie.
Don't lie.
I think I gotta go with Tyler.
Don't lie. And let me just also say real quick too, as we start to finish up here, Derek Mears is a cool ass guy because we got to meet him.
Hey.
And not only did we get to meet him, but we got a chance to talk to him for like how long, Coriander? Like friggin' 15 minutes or so.
It was quite a while.
At least 15 minutes or so. Like, and he was just chilling. Like it was a cool convention. We sat down with Kane while he's signing autographs. That was a beautiful day, man. I'll never forget it.
Ragging on one dude. It was so funny seeing him like picking on him. It's like, oh my God, this is awesome.
So shout out to Derek Mears, and I can't wait for the opportunity to meet him again. He was really cool, a very humble guy, and he was cool. He was cool. I really enjoyed talking to him. Jason saying after when we think Jason drowns, he hides out because he did not want his mom to get in trouble. Being a single mom, she loves Jason, but he did cause problems at the camp. That's one way of think. I like that way of thinking about it.
But he's not gonna like stay away from his mother forever. But the way this bond was supposed to be, come on.
I know. What's up, Katie? How you doing? And Ben Tramer's in the chat. What's up, Ben? I like Scary. Wow, Nate, how could you? And I'm not saying I don't like Tyler because Tyler is cool, but you got to check out our review on the zombie movies because there was some ups and downs on the movies. So I was thinking more movie wise, the portrayal of Michael Myers, but he was freaking scary as Michael Myers. There's no doubt about that. No doubt. Neil saying, Jesus, how tall is Derek Mears? He's like freaking 6'3". He's a tall dude, man.
Isn't he taller than that? I think he's even
I don't know, man.
Isn't he?
Look, man, all I know is that I was just glad he was nice because I'm like, hey, man.
He could like rest his chin on your head.
He was a tall dude, but he was so friendly though. But
he really was.
Even though he was tall, like he wasn't imposing. And I think you've got a fun fact that we're going to talk about as far as that's concerned, because he was very kind. I got a bro hug and everything from him. So it was really, really cool. Eric with the $5 super chat. Did Kane tell you how he is technically in Freddy versus Jason? He sure did talk about that. Kane has all the stories that he's got lined up for everybody he gets a chance to tell it to. He's like, yeah, I was Freddy, and it's like, you're all right,
Yeah.
Kane. But he was so cool.
The
Kane
first
was
time
so cool.
the first time I ever met Kane, this was like, God, over 13 years ago.
Yeah.
He was like, I got a pitch with him choking me out. And he was choking me. So
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
quite the experience.
Jaso saying Derek is as tall as
Yeah.
Triple H. Brandon was saying that Derek's 6'5". Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
it. Yep. Ghostface saying, like, the downfall that I had with Freddy vs. Jason is the fact that Kane Hodder couldn't be in it because I like Kane. He's my favorite Jason. The intensity that he
Me
brings to
too.
the role of Jason is great. Yeah, we agree,
Mhm.
man.
He changed Jason forever.
He did.
Honestly.
He did, man. I mean, just some of the things he did, when he would, like in Jason X, when he was on the table, when they first brought him into the ship, and he kind of does that sit up, and he just sits up, and then it's like, and then he just looks, at the girl he does the cryo freeze with, and it's just cool stuff like that. That he made Jason into more than just, a dullard with a machete, and I think that's what they were
like
missing.
they did in Freddy versus Jason.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But Kill, as we head on out here and finish up, the final confrontation is with Clay and Whitney against Jason, because unfortunately, Jenna right here, she does not make it. And I gotta admit, I was actually shocked by that. I don't know if you were a Kill, but take me to the ending in this, because I really thought that Jenna was going to make it, because it's almost like there were two final girls in this movie, like her and Whitney. But what'd you think of the ending?
Yeah, it was sad when she died, and I didn't see it coming, because
I didn't
all
either.
through the movie she's the sweet girl, she's the good girl, she's the smart girl, and she's helping Clay, and it could be a romance there. But with Clay's sister, not only is she a final girl, she's like a double final girl.
She is.
Like,
good point.
And the one thing I will say is, this is a tough young lady.
Yeah.
Because she's been his prisoner for weeks.
Yes.
And then on top of that, I mean, she's badass. I mean, she tag teams, Jason with her brother, and she's right there for it. And it was awesome. They end up in an area with a lot of mechanical things going on, and hey, we're going to use some of this. Something's going to happen.
Right.
And Derek did what he had to do to protect his sister. And I agree. Someone earlier in the chat said, this one, the brother sister love. It kind of reminded me a little bit of little Tommy Jarvis and how his sister was protecting him. Like, I'm going to protect my brother. So that adds another different kind of spin on this one that I thought was just great.
Yeah, they were pulling from a couple different things, and I thought that was really, really cool. HR saying, "What's good, Nightwatch Zone? What's good? How you doing?" Jason saying, "Great stream once again. Love this channel and love the community. I'm off to celebrate Mother's Day so I can be a righteous man." All right. Thanks so much, Jason. We appreciate you supporting us as much as you do. Thank you so much. And he's also saying, much respect for Ted White, needs to be in the conversation of the best. I agree. Shout out to part 4. Ted White definitely was awesome. Very, very cool. Abby saying, okay, I've been waiting to ask this. Who would like to see a movie with Jason on another planet and Jason X, his mask lands on another planet? We talked about that. Maybe like a Jason X 2 part 2.
Landing on Earth 2. Right?
That's absolutely. Absolutely. Keith's in the chat too. What's up, Knight? Jason has blonde hair, man. But I gotta admit, man, he looks good. He looks good though.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He looks good, much better than he did, well, at least in my opinion, than he did in Freddy vs. Jason. But Coriander, after, and it was cool because Whitney was the one that delivered the killing blow to alive Jason. And so then they took care of him.
He wasn't alive.
What about the stinger? What about the stinger at the end? Because that definitely was an homage to the original. What did you think of how they did that? That was cool to me. When I saw it in the theater, people were clapping at that point. I remember that.
Yeah. It had to happen. He's just not going to float away and that's it,
Yeah.
so yeah.
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 Absolutely. And also, and Kill, shout out to The Mask. Just like we
Right?
talk about Michael Myers in these new movies, this movie corrected The Mask. The Mask hadn't looked good in a while, in the franchise, and they made it look good. It's almost like in between, Richard Brooker and Ted White, 3 and 4. Richard had that, what I'm gonna say, that crisp, clean mask, and then Ted White, his mask started to get messed up. And this is kind of like in between all of that. But real quick, too, a couple of quick fun facts we finish up here. And Coriander, I know you had a few, one of which was really interesting about Derek Mears.
Yeah, so since Derek Mears is a really, really nice guy in reality, the filmmakers were reluctant to cast him as Jason.
Oh, that's funny. He is really nice, though.
Right? Including the 2009 remake, Jason he has killed around 200 throughout this series.
All right.
And a wheelchair can be seen in Jason's tunnels, which belong to Mark, who is in part
From
2.
part 2. Yes, I
Yep.
saw that. That's what I was thinking. That is so cool. That's a cool Easter egg.
Yep. And this film is the first Friday film to use CGI weapons, the machete being one of them.
All right. Very cool. Some nice little fun facts, man. But this movie was fun, man. Like I said, I had fun with it. It wasn't perfect, but what is? Ghostface with the $20 check.
Wow.
That I got a
Man.
question. Do you guys think that Kane Hodder could return? And what do you guys think about the next
Hmm.
Friday the 13th movie can be Jason versus Tommy Jarvis? How would you guys feel about that? Kane could return.
Yeah, I
you
think
know?
he's got one
Yeah.
more in him.
Look, I should have had a picture. I have a picture with Kane Hodder as well. And look, he's still a pretty imposing dude. He's friendly as hell.
Yeah.
He's a down to earth guy. But if you have seen 13 Fanboy, Kane Hodder still is physically able to play Jason. He really is. So I think he could return, and it would be great to bring Tommy Jarvis back. As a matter of fact, Ghostface, I don't know if you've seen it, but we did an episode. It's in my Friday the 13th playlist where we talked about what we want in a Friday the 13th sequel. And we actually talked about the idea of how you can bring Tommy Jarvis back. So please check out that video. And if you can't right now, that's fine. But please check it out. Let me know what you think, because we talked about bringing Tommy Jarvis back, and I would love
we
it.
did.
What do you guys think about that, Kill?
Oh, I would love it. I would love it. An older Tommy Jarvis now, wiser Tommy Jarvis. And
Yeah.
Kane definitely could, Kane is the man. He is, just like Knight was saying in 13 Fanboy, he is a beast. Like,
so
he
nice.
could definitely still do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. How about you, Coriander? I know your answer, but just to answer.
Yeah, I mean, Kane, he's my favorite. So I
Yeah.
really do want to see him do one more since he got gypped out of Freddy versus Jason. That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, you did.
And Tommy Jarvis, yeah, I'd like to see Tommy come back as a fucking sheriff and have power and manpower and
Yeah.
I think it'd be
Absolutely.
cool.
That would be cool. But thank you so much for that super chat, Ghostface. We really appreciate that. That'll go a long way to helping us on our trip to Monster Mania. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. Very, very much. Tristan's in the chat too. What's up, Tristan? How you doing? Collector Man himself saying Kane brought a lot of physicality to the role besides just killing people. I didn't mind Mears in this one. Mediocre characters for me, but it brought things back to basics. Some good kills. I agree. I totally agree with that. Thank you so much, Tristan. We appreciate that. Ben saying, you guys ever think about doing a horror movie quiz stream? That would be fun with the Lethal Collective. We actually have done some streams where we did some horror movie quizzes. We'll probably do some more of that. I've done that in our Deadly Venom stream. If you check out that playlist, we've done some of those before. Where we just talk about, you'll have to see it, but we've done that a few times, but definitely open to doing some more of that type of stuff soon. So thank you so much. Eric saying, would you want Corey Feldman to come back as Tommy? If they did it right, I don't have any issue with that. If they did it right. What do you guys think? Real quick as we get ready to head on out.
Ooh, I don't know. I think Corey's, I don't know. He was cute as a kid and fit the role,
Mhm.
But I don't know. That's a tough one, man.
How about you, Kill?
You know, I'm kind of in the same camp with Coriander here. The second version of, actually, no, the third version of Tommy is kind of the one that I like imagine.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
just a little older, you know, and
Mhm.
wiser,
Yeah.
not, you know, bringing Jason back to life.
Yeah.
You know.
All
You
right.
know, Corey makes a
Keith.
good frog, but in the what the hell that I
Lost
can't
Boys.
even. Yes,
Yeah.
he could like forever play that dude because he's just got that look.
Yeah. Keith saying still can't believe he has blonde hair. Any reason why? I don't know. Maybe it's because as he grew up, he was just so misshapen and albino like. You know, maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
The
It's a
sun
good
bleached out his
question.
hair.
Ghost could be. Ghostface saying I prefer the one in Jason Lives. That's the one I want back. Yeah, the one in Jason Lives was really, really good. CJ Graham did a great job in portraying Jason for sure. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much all we've got for Friday 13th, the remake, the reboot. It had some good things about it. Had some things that are pretty divisive to the fan base, but it is what it is. But one thing I think most people agree is that Derek, he did a pretty good job portraying Jason, and I personally had no issues with him whatsoever. And like I said, he is a cool dude in real life. He is a really cool dude. So, anyways. But for you guys in the chat, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. This has been fun. We've got some special stuff coming up because we're not done with Friday the 13th yet. And if you guys are aware of the calendar, you know what's coming up in a few days. So keep your eyes peeled to the channel. We got some fun stuff coming up for you guys. And yeah, that'll be really cool. So please give the video a like. It'll help support the channel. And also in the comment section, let us know what you think about the movie. What do you think about Derek's portrayal? What do you think about all the things we talked about, the underground lair, the realism and all that? And, you know, we can have a conversation with that as well. So anyways, guys, we will catch you guys later. And actually, we'll be streaming again in about 10-15 minutes doing our Halloween Ends live stream. So definitely, if you're around, check us out for that. It's going to be really, really fun. We got a huge panel of us and guests, so that'll be cool. So anyways, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace out.
Peace.